after 3 months, you have an emergency, you want to recall your money. The only way you are going to get your money is if you forfeit the interest that you would have accumulated.
What is the difference between a money market fund and a fixed deposit that is offered by the bank, and how do the two compare?
Now, very interesting. Fixed deposits are done by the banks, and what happens is that you lock a certain amount of money for a certain interest rate that is agreed upon at the inception. So, for example, the bank has put a minimum amount of 1 million shillings as a threshold, and for a tenure of 6 months, maybe they are giving you an interest of 10%. And if you allow that fund to be with the bank for 12 months, that is 1 year, they give you an interest, say, of 11%. Now, from the inception, that has been agreed upon. If you go for 6 months, it's now the interest to be at 10%. The 10% is annual, but will be divided into 2. Okay? The 10% to be annual. So in 6 months, you get 5%. You get 5%.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going into a 1 year investment, the bank has also given an incentive of an extra percentage. So if you go for 1 year, the same amount, they're giving you 11%, which means if you lock that money for 1 full year, you'll be able to get that 11% over and above your investment. Now the challenge comes in, if along the way, and before the expiry of the time that you've agreed to lock the money, you now want to recall the money. You put in the money with an objective of, say, 6 months. But on that month, an emergency has come up. You want to withdraw the money. For the bulk of the banks you got in Kenya, you get back your money without interest. You have to forfeit the interest. Let me repeat that. You and the bank have agreed to a return of 10% if you lock your money for 6 months. But only after 3 months, you have an emergency, you want to recall your money. The only way you are going to get your money is if you forfeit the interest that you would have accumulated. There are very few banks that may wish to give you the profit on a pro rata basis.
Yeah.
Get?
Yeah.
For fixed deposit, you lock the money, there's nothing between you and the bank until the expiry of the period. It will mature, they give you the interest, you may wish to negotiate again for maybe another 6 months or another 1 year. Generally speaking, for fixed deposit, you can either do for monthly investment, you can do quarterly, you can do semi-annual, you can do annual. You cannot negotiate a fixed rate for 2 years. You can only negotiate for maximum of 1 year.
Maximum of 1 year.
Now, let's come to the other side of the money market. The money market, the interest is market driven. It varies every day. There's nothing locked. In the money market, the interest is not locked.
Yes.
We actually call it daily yield. The interest you make on a daily basis. Let's say, for example, you've locked in the 1 million shillings. The money market yield today is 12%. So you have the 1 million multiplied by 12 out of 100, and again multiplied by 1 out of 365. Because you want to find out what is the profit you are doing on that day alone.
Really?
Okay? On the second day, we would have the 1 million. Maybe tomorrow's interest is going to be 10.5. So take 10.5 divided by 100, because a percentage, again multiply by 1 out of 365 to see the profit on day 2. So what money markets do then is that you continue accumulating the daily profits, and which will be added to the principal at the end of the month.
At the end of the month.
And then you can compound.
And then you can, it doesn't compound daily.
It compounds every month.
Okay.
It compounds every month.
Got it.
So you have what you call the daily yields, which will be added to the initial principal or the principal amount at the end of the month to form now a new principal.
Okay.
Okay, so at whatever point you want to withdraw your money in a money market, there are no restrictions. You will never fix your money in a money market. You can recall your money anytime you want.
Anytime.
Just do an email or just go to the organization where you're investing, fill in the withdrawal forms, and your money will be released. But in a fixed deposit, the money is locked for a specific period.
I see.
Whether it is 1 year, whether it's 6 months. And you're not allowed to come and start withdrawing that money, because for that money to make sense to the bank as well, you must let them stay with that money for the duration agreed upon, so that it can deliver the interest that was also signed against.
Got it.
Banks are regulated by central bank.
Central bank.
Money markets are regulated by Capital Markets Authority. So even the bodies that regulate it are very different.
Different.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. Yes.